everyone, welcome back to episode 15 of Talk of Fame podcast. And if you haven't noticed, we have the lovely singer-songwriter Thalia Rodriguez, but known as Zena, with us today. Instead of me introducing you, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us more about what you do?
Hi, I'm Zena. I'm an artist, singer-songwriter. So I basically songwrite for other people as well as kind of like working on my own music. And yeah, I've kind of been in this little industry for like a couple years now for real. But I started when I was 19, and then I was kind of just doing things blindly until I think I was like 21 or 22, and then that's when I finally kind of found my foot and started like getting connected with the right people and everything.
Oh, I love that. Like you said before, like you said, like you like write music for other people. Like, which person like did you like have like all the people that you kind of like wrote for? Like, did you like and fangirl over any of them, or you're just like, oh, it doesn't, then it's all right, this person.
I haven't really fangirl. There was this cool song that I wrote, and I think I'll have to look it up. But it's by Janelle. That's her artist name. But I had wrote it with my friend Kyle, and she's like a YouTube influencer. So he was able to pitch it to her, and she liked it, and I thought that was really cool. Another person who's really cool is I've wrote with my friend Sheba, who is TikTok Brown Chick on TikTok, and she recently blew up. But when I was writing with her, like she hadn't even started TikTok yet. So it was really cool that, one of the songs we had wrote a while back before the pandemic, like actually was able to.
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing. So like talking about like the pandemic, we've been like stuck at home a lot during over this last year. What is something that you've done over the last year that you won't have time to do before?
I think definitely being with my family. I don't live too far out from LA. I was born in Clovis, California. I'm not sure if you know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so LA is about 3.5 hours away. So it's not like I was like moving from like this crazy state all the way to California and then I wasn't able to see my like family. I would still see them like I'd say like every couple months, but I don't know, I really miss them. So I've been able to like hang out with my family, see my friends that I didn't have like in LA.
Yeah, same here. Like this like whole pandemic has been absolutely insane for basically everyone. Like that's like what I agree with what you said. Like I got close to my family like you did. Like all my family, like most of my family either like live in the area like about a half hour or some of them live out of state, but most of my family lives in the area where I am. Because like I live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, so it's about hours east from Philadelphia. And so like I actually go down to California, Los Angeles a lot. Like every like once a year I go down to Los Angeles.
Wow.
Because I'm a Dodger fan and like baseball team down there. So I go down there for a game or just to visit because that's like my favorite kind of place to go down. So I'm either down there in Los Angeles or like Pasadena or basically around at Los Angeles. You like ask me like, have you been to this place? Like I've been there, I believe 3 times, I believe, over the last 5 years. Like I've been there 3 times total.
Wow.
I would basically, my parents, I literally asked my parents, like, it's okay if I live there when I'm older? And they're like, oh yeah, whatever, you're probably not gonna last. You probably wouldn't live too far from your family because like I'm kind of like gonna miss, I kind of don't want to be too away from my family.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
I was like, maybe that's how you might be right, but
No, well, you gotta try it out. I mean, you could always do like a little like vacation to just see if you like it like by yourself before you actually
yeah,
decide.
that's true. Like one of my friends, like I had one of my friends, Madison Walken, she came on. She's like she asked me a question. She's like, "Are you allowed to fly alone to Los Angeles?" I'm like, I don't think I would, but I don't think my parents will let me fly across the country at 14. Like I don't think like
I mean, I couldn't get on a plane until I was like 21. So I don't even know how. I was scared going alone. So yeah, I wonder how it would be like being a younger girl. you know?
Yeah, like I'd be terrified because like I suffered from anxiety so much as a kid. Like I was terrified. I was always shy. Just I had disorder for anxiety, depression, and I'll probably be terrified. I'll be like, what am I do? I don't know anyone here. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have
Yeah, I get you.
like there's so many like pros and cons to it. Like there's some goods, but there's some like bad to going by yourself. Like you can do anything you want and whatever, but like it stinks you have no one there and you don't know like anyone there. So I'm like, there's no one I can hang out with. Like, is there anyone here?
Yeah. No, I totally get you. It's like
Exactly.
I used to go on, you have Amtrak over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go on Amtrak when I was like, I want to say I was like 14, 13, up until I was like 17. And because I think you had to be 18 to be without like an attendant on there.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to get like stressed out going on that just because I was like, what if I miss like my stop? Or what if they like, I don't know. What if somehow I just never get to where I need to go? But so I can
Yeah,
only imagine with like a plane.
yeah, I'm the same exact way. Same exact way. So like over the last year, we had some like a bunch of like kind of free time over the last year due to COVID and quarantine and stuff. Is there any like shows that you like binge watch or like movies that you binge watch over the last year that I never seen before, or are you just trying to make rewatch it?
Um, so yeah, I was actually never really into TV before, but I think the pandemic like really forced me to get into that, like just give
Yes,
me.
same here.
But I really like Money Heist. Have you seen that on
I
Netflix?
haven't. I heard of it, but I never seen it.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Oh, I love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, my boyfriend got me into that one recently. So I binge watched that one. However, I needed to watch like a lot of the episodes like over again because my attention span is really bad. And if I like take my eyes off of it for like 5 seconds, then I have to watch like 3 episodes prior.
Yeah,
Like even
same. Like sometimes I just like go like so let's just say like I'm like starting to watch The Crown on Netflix because I love like learning about history and like learning about kind of people and history and all of that.
yeah.
Or I'm trying to watch Grey's Anatomy too. Like I only watched season 11 and now I'm obsessed with them on season 4 right now. I started season 4. And like I remember like I was like because I'm like so obsessed with The Crown and Grey's Anatomy. I just like remember like I would just go on my phone to check something in case someone texts me or trying to reach out. And like I was like, and whenever I put my head down for a second, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I have to fall asleep. Like I can't. Like I have
Yeah, that's me.
my eyes off it for like at least like 2 seconds. Like I just like can't do that.
I know that's how I am, or else I'll just get distracted, and then it's annoying, and then I'm like,
Yes, that's how I feel too. Yeah.
yeah.
You said before you were a singer. What inspired you to start singing? Like kind of like you talked before.
Um. Well, what actually started me singing was I was never really into like sports or anything like when I was in elementary school, like trying out for basketball, like softball, all that stuff, soccer. I just like it was never really appealing to me. But I have a cousin and her name's Taya, and we were really close when we were little. And I remember I would go over to her house and she would have this neighbor. And me and the neighbor would do like, I don't even know how this started, but it was like who can sing better. And I don't know why that started, but we would have like my cousin be like the little judge and she would decide who was better like each time. And I never was better. So, and I don't know why, but I was like, I think I was like 8 years old. And it just like made me so upset that like I would just go home and I would literally sing to Kelly Clarkson for like hours. Like hours I would just be on YouTube and I'd be like, what song am I going to pick next? And so then I think that kind of just like stuck with me. And then I started getting singing lessons when I was like 12 years old to kind of help keep my voice in like a healthy state.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like I like always kind of love singing and dancing ever since I was kind of young. Like I didn't kind of like it as a kid. Like my sister did dance, my older sister did dance as a kid. She used to dance with me as a kid. But like I wasn't kind of into dance. Like I wasn't kind of someone say to dance, I'm like, no, I'm good. Or like I never liked to dance and sing. Like I wasn't kind of a big fan. But as
Yeah.
like older, like I like for my growing up with my sister and her seeing her dance and sing a lot, I kind of got into like singing and dancing. I always like now during quarantine, I grew kind of more into dancing and singing. Like every time you see me, any song you hear, or just like I hear like a TikTok song or something, either like if I hear like a beat, I'm always dancing. Every time you see me, I'm dancing. So I'm like, but like I always like usually like you said before, like you love Kelly Clarkson. I love Kelly Clarkson. Like I love her, and like I remember like songs I usually kind of like sing or dance to is maybe like J Lo or Bruno Mars or there are some songs I'm not kind of don't like the artist, but I like the song. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like so that's how I usually are. I just don't kind of like artists, but it's like the song. But like as you said before, like you like Kelly Clarkson. Like, what is like your favorite like Kelly Clarkson song if you have one?
I think the song that I would sing all the time was Because of You.
Ah, I love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah. So that was my favorite, I would say, when I was younger. I don't really listen to her as much now just because I think like with me being an artist, like I listen to a lot of music that I feel like inspires me. And even though I love Kelly Clarkson, that's not the genre that I do. But I agree with you a lot how I like a song more than the artist.
Yeah.
Like just because an artist puts an album out and I like that artist doesn't like I won't automatically like the songs just because I like them. Like I have to like the song.
Yeah, like people always ask me like, why don't you like this song by an artist? Why don't you like the artist? I'm like this song was good. Like I don't think I love like this person this genre kind of doesn't fit with me. Like I just like the song, kind of not like the artist. But like it happens to me all the time. Like I'm like, oh, I like this song this by this artist. Like it doesn't mean I kind of like them. Like there's so many people like I like actors, singers, and whatever it is. So like my parents and my siblings are like, they'll be like, you like, yeah, everyone's your favorite. I'm like, doesn't mean I like them, doesn't mean they're my favorite. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't mean they're my favorite, but like if I say they're my favorite, they're my favorite. Like one of my favorites or favorite. I don't know whatever it is, but like
I mean, your favorites could be whatever it is in the moment too. Like, you know how like you always have like a different favorite song every like couple weeks.
yeah. Like it changes every couple of weeks. Like I have like the same song, like same favorite song for over like what is it, like 3 months now, I think. But like it changes. Like sometimes it's one of my favorites and my favorite, and it depends. Like if I get to a song I used to like or a song I just heard or just came out and everything. So like it depends on new music and whatever comes on into my mind, depend on the day really.
Yeah. What kind of music are you into?
I'm basically into everything. Like I'm into like pop, rock. Like I'm basically into everything, like I said, but like I'm mostly into pop or R&B or rap. Those are probably my main kind of three.
Yeah.
Like, do you have like a favorite like songs? Like you like no matter like what you do, like do you have a favorite kind of genre you like to listen to, like your music and stuff?
I think it's pop, but it would be more of like a pop like I don't know, just like a more vibey pop, I guess. Like Doja Cat, you know how like Doja Cat's putting a lot of songs out, like Ariana,
Yeah.
like who I don't know. I like to think like it's like a sassy pop. Like it's
Yeah.
like the genre is like for girls who are like, oh, I'm that girl. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
a feel good diva pop. That's what I like to like call it.
Yeah, I love that too. Like I'm always into like songs, like whatever the song is, I'm always whoever has like a kind of like a good beat to it that's kind of high beat. I'm always kind of like jamming to it. My dad, and sometimes I'm on the way like with my dad in the car. And he's like, he says like I have a good playlist and stuff. He's like, put something on. He's like, Kylie, put something kind of high beat for me and stuff. And I was like, all right, I try my best, but every song I kind of put on, like I have like 500 songs on my playlist. I have like a bunch of songs, in my playlist, including your new song. And like,
Thank you.
and like I remember him just kind of jamming out to my playlist, and he was like, "I love your playlist. You should come play music more often." I was like, "All right, if you want me to, I would." But it really depends, like on the song. Like Ariana Grande, she has good songs. Nick Jonas, part of the Jonas Brothers. I'm actually going to seeing them on Friday. Actually,
No way.
I'll be seeing them in Hershey. So I'm seeing them for my first concert over a year, which I'm very excited for. But like my last concert I went to was actually the Jonas Brothers in Los Angeles, because I went there to Los Angeles and they're performing. So I was like, oh, I go see them. Like, why not? And my dad like said like, oh, Jonas Brothers were performing in Los Angeles. I was like, what? Because he knew how much kind of like I liked them. He's from like my favorite band. So I'm like, yeah, can you go maybe go see him if we have time? He's like, yeah, but like it didn't kind of wasn't all that great for me, because like we had to leave. The thing was at like 9 o'clock at night, but like we had to leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning, because like we had a flight next morning. So like kind of not all that great, but like at least I kind of get to do something kind of for my birthday, like birthday present, like type of thing, because like I had really nothing planned for my birthday. So I was like, oh, let's do this. And if I don't do anything on my birthday, it's fine. At least I get to go to the concert. That's all right. Like I'm whatever I get, I'm very grateful for it, no matter what.
Yeah, no, that's so exciting. And that's the Jonas Brothers was your first concert?
Hugh Jackman was my first concert. Jonas was my second concert.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say the Jonas Brothers were my first concert too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was 10, and I think I had lived in like these apartment complexes, and I made like a little friend, and she came over one day and asked me if I wanted to go to the Jonas Brother concert with her because she had extra tickets, and so that ended up being like my very first concert.
Oh, I love that. That's technically my first concert was Hugh Jackman. Is kind of more of like an actor type of thing. He's my favorite actor and stuff. So he's kind of more like an actor side type of thing than kind of singing. So like this Jonas Brothers, like my first kind of concert, like that actually was kind of like a singing group that not like they do. All of them do acting as well, but like they're more known for singing. So that was kind of technically my first concert. If you like, they're actually songwriters, so that kind of technically I would say.
Yeah.
I kind of see them once, like kind of not new for me, because like when I went to them the concert, I didn't know a lot of their music as I do now. So I was like, oh, I don't know any of these songs. Like I knew like 5 of them total. I'm like, oh, this thing's like
Yeah.
guys, like, oh, I feel so left out. What am I gonna do? I was like, Dad, I need to catch up on this music here.
All right, you're gonna be caught up when you go this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, this past week you came out with a new song called Black Opium. What inspired you to write the song?
Black Opium, that was a song that I wrote in the beginning of the year, and that was when I got out of the relationship that I was in prior to the one that I'm in now. And Black Opium is the name of the perfume I wear, like the YSL Black Opium perfume. And, you know, I think that was just like such a staple to me. Like I would always only wear that perfume. And I think I just kind of took like the "you love like my perfume" like on your bed, you know, like that concept, and I just turned that into a song. But I mean, I think Black Opium was definitely just to like represent me more than like it inspired like a whole song based on the perfume.
Yeah. Like these relationships, like I don't know too much kind of that relationship, because like I don't know relationship basically from like friends based off of like people always ask me for advice to be in relationships, like what should I do, like what should I do, and I'm like learn a bunch from that before. I never kind of like been in a relationship, so I'm like, oh, I'll help you out. Like so I basically know everything about that. So like these relationships could be very toxic and could hurt. Like I understand, like I experience like I experienced people that like never like I crush on people but it's never liked me back. So like I really like once I listened to the song, I remember I used like connect with it very well because I felt like kind of heartbreak. I was like crush didn't like me back. Like, oh, that's things I really like this kid, but he doesn't like me back. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, why is he not like me back? So like
Yeah.
so like that's why I kind of always keep my kind of relationship kind of private because like I was like, oh, why should I even like people anymore? Like why should like not why should I have a crush on someone even like if they don't like me back? So that's kind of why like I really connected with this song the most because like relationships can be hard. It might not last. It may last but not last. So like
Yeah.
like this is like really the song I can really connect to and kind of relationships and like I can actually kind of connect the song to my friends if they're in a relationship and they're going through problems I can actually help them. It's like from kind of a personal experience or from family or whoever it may be, like I can help them like whatever kind of they need. I might not know the answer to the question, but I always try to help people out even if they need it, like whether it's my family or my friends. I always try to help them out and be there for them whoever they need it. Because I'm always there for my family. Like whoever is going through a rough time, I'm here for you. Always send me a text, even if like, we never talked or we did talk, send me a message. Because there's no one like in case no one has your back. Like people are going through so many things in their life, and like there's some people that are not there for them. Like they don't have no support system and stuff. So whoever needs support system, like you reach out to anyone, like whoever maybe like your idol or your favorite singer or whoever or me even. I'm always open. My DMs are always open. So like you just may never know like what you really are going through really.
Yeah. And what's kind of nice about like, I mean, you say like, you're really young, you haven't been in a relationship, but like you've experienced heartbreak from like a crush not liking you back. And I think the thing that's kind of nice about like all like relationship songs, they're like, no matter how severe the situation was, like you can still relate to the feelings at the end of the day. Like if your crush doesn't like you back, it's like a feeling of like rejection. Like you said, like, why don't you like me back? If a relationship doesn't work out, it's like, what was wrong with me that it didn't work out or anything. Like they still fall in the same category. And so
Yeah.
that's always nice. Like you don't have to be in it to kind of know and feel what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there no matter like if you're like non-relationship, like if your crush doesn't like you back or you experience a breakup, it's kind of still it's kind of the same feeling. You really like this guy or woman, whoever kind of you're into, like you don't know kind of like it's like the same thing. Breakup and rejection is hard because you really like this person. Like it really stinks. Like kind of like I never kind of open up about who I liked ever since kind of like rejections. I never open up about it unless like people really want to know. I'll open up about it. But like it's a because I never kind of want to feel kind of vanished like on how like oh you shouldn't like this guy, you shouldn't like this guy, you should date this guy. Like that's kind of like people judge you kind of for who you like or whoever you want to date. So that's kind of why I was kind of private for me because like people I'm just scared people would judge me for who I like or who rejected me and everything. Like that's kind of always kind of why I always kept it private. Like I'm like except for kind of certain people that I trust, but like relationships are hard. Rejection's hard. No matter what you're going through, it's always very difficult. No matter kind of what you're going through.
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%.
There's so many like singers and songwriters in the industry nowadays. Do you have anyone they look up to the most, either like they're still here or not?
Um, yeah, I mean, I look up to like what I really look up to right now is Doja because I feel like she's just absolutely killing it. Just from when she did Moo to where
Yeah.
she's at now. Um, and I just love her like persona and especially on stage, she's incredible. So I think like as an myself, like I'm still kind of growing as I establish who I am even more and kind of find myself as an artist. And I think it's nice to like look up to like Doja Cat or like Ariana or Rihanna or whoever who they're very like successful women who are
Yeah.
established and, you know, kind of have themselves figured out. So it's nice to always look up and kind of refer to them if I need
Yeah,
help.
like all the people that you said, like Ariana Grande, Rihanna, Doja Cat, like all like those people are kind of inspirational. It's like they're very successful in what they do. They have like amazing hits. Like the one I kind of look up to the most is Ariana Grande, like you said. Because I always kind of been a fan of her ever since I was a kid. I've been a fan of her I think since like she first started out as a singer, but I've been a fan of her ever since she was acting on Victorious, Sam Cat. I watched everything before that ever since the kids. I've been kind of supporting her like before kind of she came like started. So I'm like I like grew up and like she inspired me so much. And like I never seen her in concert though, but I'm praying to see her. Which like I love her. And people always say to me like, "Oh, I remember your Ariana Grande days. Like I remember you used to love Ariana Grande." I was like, "Oh yeah, I do, yeah." Like I'm a big fan of her now, like you said about Kelly Clarkson. I'm a big fan of her kind of now, like I used to, but like, I still kind of adore her as much as I did as a little kid fangirling over her, basically.
Yeah, no, I totally get you.
Yeah, like you said before, like you're a fan of like Doja Cat. She's like your inspiration right now. Like, do you have like a favorite song by her, or you like what is there like kind of thing like you look up to the most by her?
Um, my favorite song by her is Rules or Streets. So Rules or Streets. And I look up to her because I don't know, I feel like she's just so authentic. Like
Yeah,
she's just so funny. Like she always just, I don't know, she just does her own thing. She's very honest. I love her style. I think her flow is insane. Like she literally changed the whole music game up.
yeah,
Since she came out with Say So, you know, kind of started
yeah,
that like Say So esque like songs that other people have been putting out.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think that she's so incredibly herself, and the industry needed someone new like that in pop, and I think she kind of switched it up.
Yeah, I totally agree what you just said. Like there be a lot of artists kind of like are kind of doing what their fans want them to do, or haters who try to do what they want to do, like switching music up, try to do like these people are doing, like do what Tori Kelly's doing, do what Aston Watkins are doing, do what these kind of popular artists are doing. That's kind of like most of the kind of people are going off of because like most of the fans are like you should go off like this person. It's like most of the like they just do what they want, not for like kind of what they wanted. It's not do like what to do to get like more viewers, like to get like a bunch of streams and make a hit. That's kind of like I think of it because sometimes like some artists kind of do that, some don't. Like depends kind of who you are as a person, kind of how you are like with streams and stuff. So like that's kind of how like kind of some artists are. You based off of your fans and hate and trying to get more kind of more streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have created some amazing songs over years. What song has meant the most to you?
I think it's this most recent one, Black Opium. The songs that I put out, the most recent song out of all the other songs I put out was Given, and that was a feature with my friend No Limit Creation. And that was really fun. But the other songs that were just solo, like Zena, I put those out when I was 19, and I am older than 19 now. So I think, I don't know. I really like Black Opium. I think that it's definitely a story that I really liked telling, and it reflects my music and like how it changed and like developed as like an artist. I think it shows that
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's amazing. I totally agree with that. Like there's so many most of the artists kind of nowadays like always like kind of like write songs as if like they're like kind of do write songs as their like, kind of own personal experiences and like write songs as if like they're what their friend's story is or whatever like person they met, like they usually put that into like a song. And that's kind of like what I love is I like singers and songwriters always put out songs that people can connect to. And
Yeah.
there's so many songs connect to based on kind of personal experience for me, based on like relationships, for who I am, like for kind of what kind of I grew up doing basically. And so like the reason I really kind of started this whole thing with the podcast is like I kind of never kind of saw myself on kind of on screen on TV, and I kind of never saw someone like me. Like I always grew with anxiety. I was always very shy. I was just anxiety disorder. So like I never kind of saw myself. I never knew what I wanted to do. So I have actually two journalists in my family from my local news station. And like over the last couple of years, my family came up to me and was like, Kylie, you would do a great job. You should try this out. I'm like, oh, maybe they knew how much sports fan. I know a bunch of like sports things and stuff. So they'll be like, oh, Kylie, this will be perfect for you. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll think about it, but it kind of never crossed my mind as if we just started. But then over quarantine, I kind of have more free time. And before quarantine, I was always like a busy person. I was busy. I did like ever since COVID hit, like I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm always busy. How am I gonna adjust to kind of a free schedule?
Yeah.
So like I had like more time to kind of think about it more. So like once I kind of thought about it, I was like, Mom, it's okay if I do this. And they're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. If you want to start this, whoever make you happy. If you don't like it, then don't do it. I was like, all right, I'll do it. And like I was like wanting to make sure. So like I didn't want to do without anyone's permission. I didn't know if they would kind of recommend putting myself kind of out there, because I always knew I wanted to be in the industry somehow. Like I never knew what I wanted to do in the industry, but I just knew I always wanted to be in it. So like when I started podcasts and everything, I was like, this is kind of my thing. I think this is the thing I want to do. Because my mom actually told me one day before I started podcast, this would be good for you. You can be on ET, all celebrity status, everything. I was like, I guess so. You'll see when I'm older, but I'm kind of too young to go into ET. But
I mean, you're starting off really early, and that's good because now you're building up a portfolio and, kind of seeing if you like it. But that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the dream jobs I do, is like work ET or some kind of hit music, like kind of like industry thing. I'd be in the industry news, and like that's kind of my dream. Is my cousins work at like my local news stations, so they cover all of that, sports or the daily news in my area. So I'm like, I want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I was like, I told my mom a couple weeks ago, I was like, I want to be on ET. I want to do something. I want to be on celebrity news. That's what I want to do. I want to interview celebrities like I'm doing now, and just do kind of what I do. I just kind of what I'm doing now is to interview basically everyone in the industry, say how they're doing, or really anything I can do to hang out with celebrities and talk to them, and just to learn more about them, like that I haven't kind of learned about them yet.
Yeah.
So what is some advice for people who would like to be like you one day?
I say just go for it. Literally just go for it, because if you spend all your time thinking about how you're going to go for it and trying to perfect going for it, you're not really going for it. And I think that's fear. So I mean, obviously have a plan, but like just shoot, and if it fails, then shoot again, and just keep trying and trying and trying, and definitely get out of your comfort zone. Like everything is getting out of your comfort zone. Like, this is chasing something that's would be seen to other people as like unrealistic and unattainable. So it's gonna have like a lot of scary pieces to it. And I think it's literally just pushing yourself every day to be like, what's the worst that could happen? Try it out. Like you just have to go for it. And that's something I still, can struggle with too, because like as an independent artist, like I'm the only one really pushing me. Like I don't have like a huge team to like fall back on, or like a label that is counting on me or anything. It's like if I wake up today and I don't want to do it, then I don't have to do it. But I can't think like that,
Yeah, so I agree exactly what you're saying. Like sometimes I have my downfalls. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not such a move to this day. But everyone kind of does that. Like I don't want to do this interview today. I don't want to go to work. But everyone that's kind of been through that. So I'm like, Because I'm kind of like running kind of my own business in my podcast. I'm like, I can actually deal with that. I'm like, oh, there's a lot going on. I'm not in the mood to do this right now, and there's a lot going on. I
Yeah.
feel this like always, like if there's too much, like I can't, like how am I gonna balance? Because a lot of people ask me, like, how do you balance your podcast, school, seeing your family, and everything you do? Like, yeah, you really enjoy. I'm like, balance is that's kind of not how I think of it. Like balance, I kind of think balance is kind of overrated because you kind of do kind of one thing or one other. You just try to put like your schedule and try to find open times. I just kind of don't think balance is kind of my thing. Like I think, oh, I do this one day, do other things. I kind of balance and one thing or other, really.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's like, I don't know. And I feel like it's not really balancing if everything you love, if you're doing everything you're really loving, you know?
Yeah.
Like, of course, like I see, like, you know, balance like your family in, you know, just don't work like hard all the time. But I feel like if, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of easy to
Yeah,
balance.
like it really depends like on your schedule. Like it's easy, it can be very difficult, but it can be very easy at the same time. Depends.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the final question for the interview is, do you have any secrets on how you write your music?
Do I have any what?
Like any secrets on how you write your music?
No, I don't.
You put like kind of like put any kind of meaningful into it, like on how you like kind of like write your songs?
I feel like every song I write is different. Usually I will work on like an online session with my producer, or sometimes like if I'm just feeling like in a really like angsty or like just a mood where I feel like I could write something, I'll look up um instrumentals on YouTube and then I'll see if anything kind of comes from that. But I'm definitely like a vibe over lyrics type of person. Like I don't think that I could just come up with a melody on the top of my head without
Yeah.
hearing something to influence it, like a beat or anything like that. Cause I would say like my music is more of like a, I hate saying the word vibe, but it's more like a vibe. It tells like its own, like each part of the song like carries equal weight
Yeah.
instead of just being more of like a storytelling, like I'm just gonna write some really meaningful lyrics on like a guitar piece and that's all that needs to be. Like an Ed Sheeran, because his lyrics are so good to where in the
Yeah.
beginning it would just be like a guitar. I feel like mine kind of needs everything.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran kind of connects to everything. Like first, like his song kind of starts as kind of guitar, kind of slowly begins. Then me after the song, after middle, it kind of gets like a good kind of beat to it and gets a very
Yeah.
thing. So that's kind of like what I love is it kind of starts slow and just starts going, and you just like start dancing like a high beat, really.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he's an amazing artist, amazing lyricist.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on my podcast. It means so much. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you, and I had such a blast talking to you today. And we'll definitely stay in touch. And next time I come down to Los Angeles or something, if you're around, we can meet up or something.
Yeah, that would be
And
so fun.
yeah, and the next time I'm down there, I'll let you know. And it was such a blast talking to you today, and I'll definitely talk to you soon.
Oh, it was so sweet. Thank you for having me on your podcast. This is so fun. You're an amazing interviewer. You're going to go really far with this podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. It means so much to hear you say that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, girl.
Then talk to you soon.